Thinking of purchasing one of these? Well, stick around and watch my review of my Cub Cadet RT65 rototiller. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Coop, the Wonder Why Farmer here at Wonder Why Farm and Homestead. Let's get right into the topic today of my Cub Cadet rototiller review. So I've had this rototiller now. This is my second season with it, and I'm going to show you me operating it, and I'll do a little overview as I'm operating it, and tell you what I like and dislike about it. Stick around. So let's talk about this tiller. It's the Cub Cadet RT65 rear tine tiller. Overall, I'd give it about a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's easy starting, has plenty of power, and is easy to operate. The one negative that I would say about it is if you're tilling in untilled ground or turf, it has a tendency to gather ground trash in front of the tines. However, usually if I just tilt the tiller up, it will clear itself out without any problems. Once in a while, I've noticed that you have to actually manually remove the trash from in front of the tines. The rear tine gear also stops it from digging in and lurching forward, or if you hit a rock during tilling, it won't jump out of control as other tillers that I've operated in the past will do. This, I think, it's probably its best feature. The ground I'm tilling here has been tilled before, and I'm running the tiller in the rear tine gear. The rear tine gear should be used anytime you are not just surface tilling between plant rows. As stated, all in all, this has been a great and reliable tiller. I would say if you are in the market for a rear tine tiller, I would recommend looking into this Cub Cadet RT65. It's worked well for me. Stay tuned as I do a walk around and show more about this tiller. Okay, specs on the rototiller. It is a Cub Cadet, as you can see. It's a 208cc cast iron sleeved engine. This is presumably it's Cub Cadet's motor. I'm not sure if they actually made it or not. This is the second one of these that I've owned. I had another one that had a Honda engine, which actually failed on me. This one here has a different engine, completely different setup, different choke, everything like that. But it's really easy to operate. It's a gas only motor. The regular unleaded gas, 10% max ethanol, it says on there. Oil dipstick, so it is gas. It's not 2-cycle, it's a 4-cycle engine. Here is your choke. I found this has been very, very easy to start. This is your throttle control all the way back. It is full. It has a half throttle, which is nice. And of course it has off or stop, but the half throttle, if you're just tilling up something that isn't actually hard ground, that works really good, especially if you've got this turned back. If you have the lever down, I have it all the way extended up so it will go in as deep as possible right now, but if you are just doing ground that has already been tilled, or you're going between plant rows or something like that, the half throttle is really nice for that. It's a lot more gentle. It's got the directional agricultural tires on it. Again, this is your depth of digging, as far down as you want to go. Pull this pin, you can adjust it however you want. It does have, this is something different that the other one didn't have. This has an on-off switch, a kill switch for it. So that's pretty nice little feature. It's not critical. You can actually shut it off by just turning the fuel all the way down at the accelerator. Your gear selection drive. Now, this has power reverse, has neutral, and you can freewheel it. It has just forward, where the tines will not turn. The nice feature about these is it has this reverse tine, and this is for if you're braking and tilling hard soils. If you're breaking through sod or something that hasn't been tilled for a long time, you put it in that reverse gear, and if you've ever run a tiller before, especially the old type, if you were in hard ground or something, the tines would bite in and it would just push the thing ahead. It was really bad for it. You almost had to, they were made more for soil that had already been plowed up and tilled. If you want to just cultivate, you'll see it says on here, cultivating, tilling soft soils, ground breaking, tilling hard soils. That has really made this thing a lot nicer to use, and a lot, more than just tilling up in the garden some weeds. Gas tank, I'll give you an approximate on this. I would say that it probably holds possibly a half a gallon, and it goes a long time on a half a gallon. It is belt driven. I'll show you the belt that drives it. I had my other one for about 7 years, and I never once replaced the belt. You can see back in there, there's the belt for it. When you squeeze the handle down here, that puts the tension on the belt. Very simple design, and it moves you forward. Runs the tines. The tines are pretty typical of any of these. Let me flip the door up here. This is the only drawback. As you can see, you get a lot of weed stuff in there, roots and whatnot, but it does a pretty good job of tilling. Now this ground that I've tilled up here, this is my garden, part of it, and I typically till it every year. And I also have worked a lot of, as you can see, it's nice and dark. I've worked a lot of organic material in this over time. So this ground's pretty soft, so it doesn't have a hard time. It doesn't have very many rocks in it. Rocks too are a problem. If you hit a rock, it's gonna scoot ahead on you. Now if it's in that forward, I've noticed that it won't do that. It'll just chunk the rock out, and it'll kick it out back by your feet. You can pick it up and toss it out. This also has a counterbalance on it. That was another thing with the other one. I don't know what's in here. I assume it's the same thing. The other one was made of concrete, and it actually wasn't all molded together like this. And this concrete actually broke, and the whole counterweight kind of fell off of it. But it's super easy to start, as you can see in whenever I started to do the tilling. Has an adjustment here for your handle. You unscrew this hand crank right here, and you can actually push this down if you are a shorter person. I'm 6'7", so it's actually not even high enough for me, but so I have it all the way up. But it will adjust. Right here's the adjustment for that. All in all, it's been a really good tiller. I can't complain about it. I've had a Troy built, which I liked, but it did not have this groundbreaking feature, and that was a problem. It would constantly dig into the ground too hard. Even whenever you were tilling, just between rows, it had problems. It wanted to walk all over the place. The one I had before this, the only difference was the engine. It had a Honda engine on it. I've had other things with Hondas, never had a problem with Honda. That one there, for some reason, just it did not work out for me. So that's a review on the Cub Cadet. This is let me get the model number again. It's the RT65 dual direction tines. Now, cost on this, I give $800 for this last year. But if you're looking for a tiller, I didn't really compare prices. I didn't look around. And when my other one blew up, I needed a new tiller, so I liked the features of the other one that I had. And I did see that this had a different engine on it, so that enticed me to go ahead and buy this one and try it out. If you're in the market for a rototiller, check out Cub Cadet. They obviously didn't sponsor this video. Just my experience with it. I haven't run every rototiller that there ever was made. I've run the 8 horsepower Troy built when I was younger. Good tiller, but it had its issues. Didn't have this groundbreaking feature on it, which is to me is great. You know, especially if you want to start a new place. So, thanks for tuning in. If you like this sort of thing, smash that like button, ring the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Until I see all of you again on the next video, I hope you're staying happy, safe, and healthy, and God bless.